Guys, welcome back. So now we are in account payable. Okay, so we can say account payable basic setting. So as I said in previous session, guys, let's suppose whenever any vendor related transactions are going to be posted, right? So in vendor related transactions, say for example, uh, this Tata Motor corporate office is there, they are taken on lease, it is on rent, and a particular vendor sending invoices every month, rent related invoices. Now, so in that case, what is happening, guys? Rent account will be debited and that vendor account will be credited. Okay. So rent is a GL, rent GL is already created. However, if it needed, like any other GL supposed to be created, right? So in that case, we can set up because whatever the basic settings are required for GL account, that is already done. Now simply we have to create the GL account which can be created within a minute. But if we talk about vendor, so vendor also supposed to be created. It is supposed to be set up into SAP because it's a master data. So how vendor is going to be set up, guys? How vendor is going to be created? So for that, certain basic settings are supposed to be done. So those basic settings we are doing. Okay. So here, so what we have seen here like creation of vendor account groups. Okay. What is the use of account group, guys? I have repeated. I explained already in the previous session. This account group means it controls the fields. Fields of what, guys? Master data. When you set up a master data, I mean to say while creation of GL account, we have created account group. So whichever fields are appearing in GL account or GL master, those fields can be controlled by account group. Why I'm putting more and more stress on these things, guys? Because this is what you have to learn, or else there are lots of people who knows how to set up this account group, but they don't know what is the exact use, right? So that is the major issue. If you don't know what is the use of account groups, then it's very difficult to reply during interviews and all. So now here what is happening? Account group control the fields. So in vendor master also, when we are going to set up vendor master, multiple fields are going to appear. Those fields will be controlled by account group only. Second one is creation of number ranges that we have already seen. Number ranges means when you set up a vendor, then a vendor number will be generated by system. So this number, where it is coming from, a particular number range we have to set up, and from that range itself SAP is going to generate a particular number. The logic is same or similar to the document number ranges. Okay, if you guys are able to remember FBN1 screen or transaction code, right? The same logic is there. Now assign the number ranges to vendor account groups. This one also we have done. Let me log in here and let me check it. OBAS is the transaction code. I think EM22. Yes, the account group. And I'm using number range 02. As I told you guys that multiple number ranges are already created by people. So it's very difficult to identify the unused number. Okay. So that is why we are going to use the existing one. Means this is already set up. We have used the number range 02 is suggested now. The next one is define tolerance group for vendors. So here again, a tolerance group we have already defined for users. Tolerance group we have defined for GL account, right? And tolerance group for vendor. Vendor means, I'll tell you guys, customer vendors together. Okay, you just do one thing. Go to OP A3. Now click on inventory. Give your company code. Don't give anything in group field, guys. Keep it blank only. Here you can give the descriptions. Okay. Now, so certain things are there, guys, like here, grace days, grace due dates, tolerance group wise. Okay, it is going to be, but we are going to specify it somewhere else. So, and then apart from this, like multiple other things are also there, like look at here, this payment terms, fixed payment terms, and also we have multiple options are there. Here we are not going to specify. Simply what we have to permitted price differences you can specify and save it. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. What is this permitted price differences, guys? Permitted price differences means so difference between, like, let's suppose uh, invoice and payment. Invoice we have received worth of, let's suppose, 1001 rupees or whatever currency is there in that, and the payment or else like 1 point or else 1000.65 rupees. So when we are going to make payment, we are going to make a payment in round figure. Okay, or else 1 lakh some 5 rupees. So in that case also, let's suppose if Tata Motor is going to make a payment in round figure, in the sense simply 1 lakh. So for 5 rupees, what is happening, guys? 5 rupees is a small amount which can be ignored, right? But here generally what happen when you talk about invoice, is worth of any amount. Now I'm keeping 1005, and the payment is worth of 1000, right? So there is a difference, isn't it? So in that case, system will not allow to post the transactions because there is a difference between invoice amount and payment amount. So that is why we have specified a tolerance that how much differences can be tolerated by system. Okay. So we have specified a particular small amount. Okay. And in that case, if that much differences are there, SAP is going to tolerate, in the sense there won't be any problem. But if differences are more than that, then system will not allow to post the transaction saying that no, there is a difference between invoice amount and this payment amount, right? So that is the simple logic. And this tolerance group we are defining for customer and vendor both, in the sense whatever amount we have given, that is applicable for customer and vendor both. And as I said, like, keep this, what is a tolerance group as a blank. No need to give any group here. So what is the logic, guys? Simple logic is there. If you keep this tolerance group as a blank, then what is happening? No need to assign this tolerance group to the master data. Okay. Now, creation of reconciliation account. This is a very important setup, guys. Try to understand this one because I have seen multiple times during interview, people have asked these questions during interview, right? And uh, whatever the answers are being given by students and all, that is not satisfactory. Okay. So here, creation of reconciliation account. First of all, what is this reconciliation account? Now here what will happen? I'll tell you. So say for example, guys, let's suppose we are having multiple vendors. Okay. Let's suppose vendor A, B, C. Okay. These all are the vendors. Now all are regular vendor, guys. So from every vendor, if you talk about procurement, procurement is a continuous what do you say activity. In the sense like if we talk about manufacturing, so manufacturing it's keep on like going, guys. In the sense like this is uh, also a continuous this one activity. In the sense manufacturing will happen, and in that case what is happening, guys? Of course materials, raw materials, whatever the required raw materials are there, that is also people will keep on purchasing those raw materials and all. Okay. So these all vendors, whatever the vendors are there, always an order placed today that is going to be delivered after maybe 4 or 5 days from vendor. After that, what is happening, guys? Maybe after 10 days or 15 days, another order is going to be placed. Okay. Again, another order is going to be placed. Sometime one vendor is supplying multiple raw materials, right? So multiple orders are placed to that vendor. So every time, whenever the vendors are going to supply these materials and all, they'll be sending the invoices also, right? So multiple invoices also we are going to receive from vendor side. Okay. And for those invoices, what we have to do, in the sense those invoices will be posted here into SAP, and after some time we have to release the payment. Okay. So first of all, against a particular vendor, say for example against vendor A, we have multiple invoices. Okay. These are the invoices which is already posted. These invoices are already posted against vendor A. Now what is happening, guys? When these invoices are getting posted, okay, it will called open item. Open item. What is this open item, guys? All are going to be treated as an open item. Open item is only invoice is posted. The payment is not made yet. Let's suppose if we have made a payment against this 5,000, okay, because every invoices will be having different due date. Invoice number one, the first invoice, let's suppose we have received on a particular date, right? Second invoice we have received on a different date. So every invoices will be having different due date, and as per that the payments are going to be made. Now let's suppose this invoice itself become due and we have made a payment. So what is happening? This is going to be, instead of open item, now it is going to be turned as cleared item. Cleared item means the payment is already done. I'll show you guys what is the difference between open item and cleared item. Open item will be there in red color, symbol will be there, and cleared item all this green color symbol will be there. Okay, so open item means unpaid invoices, and cleared item means paid invoices. It means the payments are made. Those line items are going to be moved, what is say closed, and we are not at all liable to pay because we have already paid this one. Now again, this is going to be paid. Let's suppose because again, as I said, like the due date, whatever the due date is there, that is reached. So here this is also cleared item. Okay. So now, so now here cleared item means it won't be under this queue. In the sense, open item will be having a different queue, and cleared item will be having a separate queue, guys. We can say. Well, I'll show you practically. Don't worry. So here, so right now, how much open item? These are the three open items are there. It means if a financial statement is going to be generated today, so in that financial statement we have to say that what is the overall payable. So overall payable means, so for this vendor itself, what is the overall payable for vendor A? It is 5,000, sorry, it is total 9,000, because whatever the open items are there, that only is our liability. This is our payable, in the sense these invoices are going to be paid in future, right? Okay. So here what will happen, guys, if we have to show, because when the financial statement is going to be published, we have to show total payable, right? Now I'll tell you one thing. Now here, say for example, for vendor A we are having total payable 9,000, open invoices 9,000 overall. Here 6,000, only 2,000. So a different amount are open. Okay, against every vendors. So now what is happening, guys? So if we have to calculate, overall payable amount, right? How to calculate? Look at here now. So here it is 52k. 52k. That is our overall payable. So what is happening, since we are using Excel sheet, and that too here, I simply made sum of all the invoices. In the sense, all the invoices which is posted against these are the against these vendors. Okay, just assume that Tata Motor is having this much vendor. In that case, what is happening? It is pretty simple. Count this. But in reality, what happened, guys? Tata Motor is having several thousand vendors. Several thousand vendors are there. Against every vendor, multiple open items will be there. Okay, against vendor A, multiple open items are there. For B, also multiple open items are there. So one by one, if we are going to count manually that what is the payable for A, what is the payable for B, what is the payable for C, it will take too much time. Because if 10,000 vendors are there and manually we started counting these open items, it will take too much time, because this is how you will come to know that what is the overall payable. Overall payable means for all vendor, isn't it? So here, to simplify this now, because overall payable means we must have to know this is how financial statement. At the time of preparation of financial statement, what is happening, guys? It is going to be quite easy. In payable segment, vendor payable segment, we can keep like, okay, 22K is the payable amount. So this is a liability. In the sense, in future, we have to make payment of 22K, whichever currency is there, Indian, INR or dollar or euro or any other currencies. Now, in the sense, in your local currency, when I say local currency, guys, it means whatever the company code currency is there, that is called local currency. Okay. And other than company code currency is called foreign currency, right? Now here, so this is the overall payable amount. Okay. So in SAP, how to get this overall payable amount, guys? Easily, very simple. So now what SAP says, that this A, B, C, these all are different vendors. Okay. So these all vendors, when we set up vendor A, when you set up vendor B, it means like maybe some time ago these vendors were created in SAP by someone. So while creation of vendor, what is happening? We are going to create one GL account. First of all, we have to create a GL account. Okay, particular GL account, guys. Let's suppose GL account 2000. So when we create vendor A, we are going to assign a GL account 2000. Likewise, when we create vendor B, the same 2000 is going to assign against B, C, D, okay, against every vendor. Now the question is, what is the benefit of assignment of this GL account, and that too against vendor master? When we set up, I'll show you where we are going to assign this. Okay, so this GL account is going to be assigned against vendor master. While creation of any vendor master, let's suppose this GL we have assigned. Okay, so now what is happening? When you post a transaction against this vendor A, so the transactions are going to be posted against vendor A. At the same time, the same transaction is going to be updated against this GL account also. GL account 2000. Likewise, these transactions are going to be updated against vendor B. So when you check the vendor balance, in the sense vendor B, it will be showing that total open items are worth of 6000. But at the same time, this amount is getting updated against this GL. Likewise, the same things are applicable in case of C, D, E, whatever remaining vendors are there. So for every vendor, vendor wise, different amount is there. But within the vendor, a common GL we have assigned. So in this GL, you'll be having balance of A, open item of A, B, C. All the open items are getting updated against this GL. So vendor wise, different amounts are there, right? But now what is happening? These all amounts got updated against this GL account. Okay. So now if we have to calculate what is the overall payable, instead of going for this manual calculations, which may take, let's suppose, certain days or maybe a week. Now, within a fraction of second, if you take this GL balance, immediately you will come to know that our overall payable is 52, because all the like whatever the transactions related to these vendors are getting updated against this GL account also, and the same GL account we have assigned to every vendor. Now, so whatever GL account we have created and we have assigned to the vendor account, guys, it is not a normal GL. It is a special kind of GL account. Okay, and this GL is called recon account. This GL is called recon account. In the sense, reconciliation account. Reconciliation account means a GL account which is assigned to the vendor master. Now the question is, what is the need of creation of this GL account and what is the need of assigning this GL account at the time of creation of vendor master? So very simple logic is there. You have to say that if whatever reconciliation account is assigned to the vendor master, right? So when we post any transactions against that particular vendor, so those transactions are going to be updated against that particular vendor, as well as the reconciliation account also which is assigned to that vendor. So what is the benefit? The major benefit is, since a single reconciliation account is going to be assigned to the multiple vendors. Okay. So when the transactions are getting posted against the vendor master, those transactions are going to be updated against the assigned GL account also. Okay. Assigned GL account means this is the GL account, same GL account we have assigned against all the vendor. So 7,000 is the open item for vendor D, but this 7,000 is updated here also. This 6,000 updated against this GL. 9,000 is also updated against same GL, right? So these all open items are going to be updated against this GL account 2,000. And this is how, what is happening? If we have to check the overall, if somebody asks like what is the total payable, right? So total payable means we can check this GL balance and that is going to show the status, in the sense what is the overall payable. So we'll check this reconciliation account and with the help of that we can come to know that what is the overall payable amount easily. Okay. And there is other logic also, guys. Other logic in the sense like later on in upcoming session there'll be a topic called financial statement version. So there this GL account is going to be assigned. But right now I'll not go in those details and all, because later that topic is going to be covered. We'll see that practically how the assignments are happening and what is the other benefits. We'll discuss in detail. So right now, what is the use of reconciliation account is pretty simple to understand, that all these vendors open items are going to be updated against this GL account. When you post the vendor invoices, that is going to be updated against this reconciliation account. And since every vendor's open items, right, every vendor's open item, or you can say invoices, are getting updated against a GL account which is assigned to the master data, and these GL accounts are called reconciliation account. What is the benefit? The benefit is, if we have to see total payable amount, instead of checking vendor master vendor data one by one, because you have to check like here overall 9,000, here overall 6,000, overall 2,000, and then you have to consolidate this figure, which take too much time. But here what is happening? Once we have assigned the same GL against all the vendor account, and when you post a transactions, the transactions are getting updated against vendor as well as this GL account. So in that case, it is pretty simple to see the overall payable account. We can check this GL balance and we will come to know overall payable amount, right? So reconciliation account is, what is the role of reconciliation account here? With the help of reconciliation account, guys, we can see the overall payable as of now here in account payable. Later on reconciliation, further other reconciliation accounts are also going to be created. Even in account receivable also we have to create. Here we have to check the overall payable amount. In account receivable we have to see overall receivable amount. So the way we are assigning one reconciliation account against every vendor, in the same way we have to create another reconciliation account, and that is going to be assigned to the customer master, which will be explained in detail once the account receivable is going to be started. Okay, now, so this is what the use of this reconciliation account, guys. and it is a special kind of GL account. Okay, and this GL account cannot be used for manual transaction posting. Okay, this GL account cannot be used for manual transaction posting. Now the question is how SAP will be able to determine that this is a special kind of GL, it is not a normal GL. I'll tell you guys, very simple step is there. So first of all, let me create one reconciliation account. Name 22. Okay. So now here, reconciliation account we have to create. The reconciliation account for account payable. Account payable is our liability, right? Payable is liability, and we have already created account group for payable in the sense for liability, and that is the number range which we have given. I think 2000 to 2999 that I am able to remember. If you are not able to remember, the procedure is pretty simple, and some of you might be able to remember. OB and here you can check my account chart of account is TM22. So here, so for liability, this is the number range 2000 to 2999. So first GL I'm going to set up. So I'll keep number 2000 only. Click here on create button and give 2000, and here the company code is different, so I have to give TM22. Press enter. So select the current account group. Create a balance sheet account. Now account payable I'm going to create. So here what is happening guys, pretty simple. No need to do anything. Simply you have to select this reconciliation account type here. Okay. In case of normal GL, what happened guys, this reconciliation account type is not going to be selected. You click on vendor. Okay, here drop down and select vendor. Okay, so it means later on what is happening guys, we can select for customer also, asset also. We'll see that in upcoming session. Right now we are in account payable, so select the vendor. Okay, so now what is happening, we have selected this reconciliation account for vendor. It means this reconciliation account is going to be assigned to the vendor master, and vendor related transactions are going to be updated against this reconciliation account. Here apply line item display. You can select the sort key here. When you create a reconciliation account guys, for field status group, SAP has given a different field status group for reconciliation account, and that is, look at here somewhere, D067. If you press enter, look at here, reconciliation account. No need to apply post automatically only. The reason behind is reconciliation account by default it is going to be posted automatically only. It is not going to be used for manual transaction posting. Just save it. If you're trying to use 2000, there is a GL account, right? For manual transaction posting, it will not, system will not allow reconciliation. You cannot post a transactions here against reconciliation account, guys. Just go to FD50. Okay. Any amount, if you keep here and if you press enter, look at here, account 2000, company code cannot be directly posted to. Okay, this account cannot be posted directly. Okay, in this account, balances in the sense like whatever transactions are there, that will be getting posted automatically when you post any transactions against vendor. Okay, so directly you cannot post a transaction against reconciliation account. Okay, now here, and as I said, for reconciliation account, we are having special field status group given by SAP. I hope you guys will be able to remember what is the use of field status group. So field status group controls the fields of like fields which appears at the time of transaction posting. When you post a transactions, right, during transaction posting, whatever fields are appearing, those fields, those fields are getting controlled by field status group. Okay. Now, so we have created this reconciliation account also. Now what is happening? Create a vendor master. So whatever the required configurations are there, basic settings are there, those we have done till here. Okay. Now, or till here, creation of reconciliation account, right? After that, what we have to do? Create a vendor master. Now, while creation of vendor master, look at here. I have given two different transaction code called XK01 and FK01. Okay, so there is a difference. Okay, now here I'll show you. FK01 is called FI vendor, and this is called MM vendor. Okay, generally here we are having two segment. When you create a vendor by using FK01, we are having two segments. What are those segments, guys? That is general data and company code data. But here what is happening? You'll be getting general data, company code data, and then purchase organization data. Certain differences are there, guys. Don't worry, I'll explain it. Okay. So general data and company code data, and here general data, company code data, and purchase organizations data. I'll see FK01 for creation, FK02 for editing, in the sense changing the details in the vendor master. I'll just use right now. I'll show you the differences. Go to here, FK02. Look at here, general data, and then company code data. Okay, under general data, we are having multiple different tabs, and again, company code data also we are having different tabs. Okay, now here also what is happening? Just go to XK02. So when you give this one, we are having general data, company code data, and purchase organization data, right? So this is the difference. Okay. So now here, FI vendor and MM vendor means generally what happened? See, general data means a common details. Common details means, let's suppose, what is the vendor name, what is the vendor address, right? Phone number, fax number, contact person. For payment related things and all, vendor is going to set up share the bank details. So these are the common details which is going to be specified here in general data. Now, company code data and purchase organizations data. I'll tell you, there are differences. See, in SAP, we are going to post two kind of invoices. Two types of invoices will be there, guys. Try to understand this one. Theoretically, I'm explaining, and later on you can see practically also. Okay. So we are having two kind of invoices. Two kind of invoices means, let's suppose one is called PO invoices and second one is called non-PO invoices. Okay. So PO invoices and non-PO invoices. PO invoices means if you have to procure something, I'll give a brief explanations. And again, PO invoices are going to be discussed in detail. In upcoming session, there will be a topic called FI MM integrations. There we are going to discuss in details. So PO invoices means if we have to procure certain things, let's suppose there is a procedure. First of all, a purchase order is going to be created. This PO is going to be sent to the vendor. Vendor will deliver the goods or raw material based on the purchase order. Vendor is also going to send the invoices, right? And after certain time, the payments are going to be released. This is what the general process, okay, of procurement. So here what happened, if we have procured certain material, first of all, a PO was set up, PO was sent to the vendor, and based on purchase order, vendor has delivered the goods. So here what happened, PO is based on purchase order now. In this sense, first of all, it's a kind of like in PO we are going to specify all the details, which material is required, how many units are required, when we are expecting the delivery of that materials, and where this material is going to be supplied to plant A or plant B or plant C. So those all details will be specified in purchase order. Okay. So once the vendor is going to deliver the goods, along with the goods, what is happening, guys? Invoices are also going to be sent by vendor. So this is called PO based invoices or PO invoices. Okay. But there are certain cases, guys, where PO is not going to be raised. Purchase order will not be raised. Okay. If we talk about this rent related invoice, are we going to set up any purchase order for that? No. Every month in what happened, guys? Every month in with a particular fixed amount, vendor is going to send an invoice. No need to raise any purchase order. If we talk about audit fee related invoice, Tata Motor has taken, let's suppose, audit related services from a particular organizations. These people are also going to send an invoice at month end based on the resources, their own resources which they have deployed in Tata Motor. Okay. Apart from this, Tata Motor is using electricity to run their entire operations and plants and everything. So at the end of the month, based on the consumptions, electricity board is going to send an invoice to Tata Motor. The bill, that is an invoice. So those invoices are called non-PO invoices. Tata Motor is using internet and that is given by a different third party organizations. Every month and what is happening, guys, those people are also going to send the invoices. This is non-PO invoices, right? So telephone, let's suppose they are using a particular like telecom services, belongs to a particular telecom companies, telephonic services they are using of Airtel or whatever the telecom operating companies are there. So at month end, what is happening? They are also going to send the invoices. This is also non-PO invoices, guys. Based on the users, they have sent an invoice. Okay. So for non-PO invoices and PO invoices, okay. So certain differences are there here. PO invoices means First of all, purchase order is going to be set up, and non-PO invoices means purchase order is not going to be set up. Okay. So non-PO invoices are going to be posted, okay, by a transaction code FB60, which we are going to test once the vendor is going to be set up, guys. After that, we can test this. PO invoices are going to be posted by a different transaction code, Myro. Okay. How to post the PO invoices by Myro? Okay. We'll see that during FI MM integrations. Right now, we have to see FB60. Okay. So this non-PO invoices, whatever the non-PO invoices are there, right? During at the time of posting non-PO invoices, guys, for non-PO invoices, we need only two data. From vendor master, this general data and company code data. Okay. For PO invoices, what is happening, guys? SAP required this one, general data and purchase organization data actually. General data and purchase organization data, guys. Of course, certain details from company code also is going to be copied. So you can say like all three are required here: general data, company code data, and purchase organization data for PO based invoices. And for non-PO based invoices, only these two: general data and company code data. So if we have to set up, let's suppose let's suppose this ABC electricity board. Okay, electricity board. In that case, what is happening? This is a vendor. So if we have to set up this vendor, we can set up this vendor by using FK01 transaction code. Why? Because this vendor required only general data and company code data. The reason behind is electricity board is going to send the invoices every month, and those invoices are non-PO invoices. So for non-PO invoices, what is happening, guys? Whatever non-PO invoices are there, for those non-PO invoices are going to be posted by FB60 transaction code. And for all these non-PO invoices, invoice related vendors, right? For those vendors, these two data is only required: general data and company code data. And here for PO invoices, general data, company code data, and purchase organizations data, all three are required. Right now, it is a bit difficult to correlate, guys, the things, but don't worry, a perfect clarity will be there once we proceed further, because certain things are being explained right now. Certain things are going to be explained in upcoming session when I start FI MM integrations, guys, isn't it? So that is why when we proceed further, right? So your clarity in the sense like your understanding level will be different, isn't it? When I talk about like when we started our configurations, creating the company code, posting period variant, fiscal year variant, at that point of time, a different level was there. But when we proceeded further here, then what is happening, guys? Your understanding level and it's going to be different. Okay, now the basic settings it become basics only, basic itself, right? Okay. So of course you guys will be having perfect understanding. Right now simply I have explained theoretically because it is not possible to explain practically, but yes, everything is going to be covered. Don't worry, you guys will see this practically also. So right now what is happening? Either you can use FK01 or XK01 and you can create the vendor. This is called like general data and company code data, and here general data, company code data, and purchase organization data, all three data are going to appear. Okay, so we can use this is XK02. XK02 means if we have to edit the vendor master, in that case we have to use XK02. Okay, for creation XK01 and press enter. So this is what now here company code data, purchase organizations data, account group. And when you create the vendor by FK01. So look at here, only company code data and account groups are required. Purchase organizations data is not required. Okay. Now the here in real time, what is happening, guys? Which one is more prevalent? So I'll tell you guys, this XK01 is very prevalent transaction code. Whether we have to set up PO vendor or non-PO vendor, whatever it is, it can be set up by XK01. Okay. From FK01, you can set up non-PO vendor, in the sense FI vendor, MM vendor cannot be set up by FK01, but XK01 means FI vendor and MM vendor both can be set up. Here I'll tell you. Let's suppose there is a vendor. We have to set up a vendor, which is like right now is FI vendor itself. In that case, what is happening? And anyway, purchase organizations cannot be set up right now. It will be set up later during FI MM integrations. So simply what is happening? No need to give the vendor account, because vendor account number will be generated by SAP automatically. But here, company code, ignore this purchase organizations and give the account group. That's it. Okay. Which transaction code I'm using? XK01. Here I can show you the XK01. Okay. So by using XK01, you can create PO vendor and non-PO vendor both. In the sense, FI vendor and MM vendor both can be created. So give your company code and give your account group and press enter. So here, give this. Let's suppose I'm going to give test vendor. Okay, generally a vendor will be having name like, let's suppose XYZ Limited. That is your name. Okay. Search term. Search term, no need to give right now, keep it blank. Search term is going to be used like while creation of vendor. If you have to search a vendor, right? So in search term, you can give a particular code. By that, we can search it out. We can search the vendor very easily. How to search the vendor? Multiple, as I said, like vendor creations, modifications are going to be used multiple times. So we can see how vendors are going to be searched. Right now, what is happening, guys? So here, general data, vendor name, addresses, right? PO box details, come down, phone number, fax number, whatever the details are there can be given. Now what you have to do? Now here addresses. No need to specify all the addresses, guys. Only the mandatory field is going to be filled up. Right? Here we are having country code. This is a mandatory field. It means you must have to enter certain code here, then only SAP is going to allow you to proceed further. Or else system will not allow you to go further, because mandatory field you must have to. So I'm going to give the country code, press enter. This is control data. Here also multiple fields are there, guys. There is a huge of control data. Okay, but this is going to be discussed separately in upcoming session. Okay, upcoming session, in the sense like there'll be a topic called vendor is also customer, right? So there, you can see like we can link the customer with vendor, right? So there it is going to be explained. Right now, just keep it blank. No need to specify anything. This is payment transactions, means here the bank related details are going to be specified. Bank details are going to be specified. No need to specify anything right now. It is going to be specified, guys, but later, not right now. Here contact person. Contact person means for every vendor, there'll be a contact person. In case of, let's suppose, we have received one invoice from vendor, and the invoice, instead of 1000 rupees, they have sent the invoice worth of 10,000. So some issue is there, right? Maybe misprinting or whatever it is. So it's a kind of dispute, right? Or disputed invoice. So what is happening? So now let's suppose account payable. help desk team will contact the vendor, right? So if they are going to contact a vendor, who is the contact person? Because whatever the vendor is there, that vendor is also an organization, guys. They'll be having 10,000, 20,000 employees. So who, like, who is the contact person? Whom should be contacted? So vendor, initially when the contract is, like, negotiations are taking place at that point of time, like once the every negotiations are done, once the deal is finalized, then the vendor master data is going to be set up first. So at that point of time, what is happening, guys? Vendor will specify the contact person. Let's suppose, so anybody, guys? Okay, and here XYZ, you can double click here. The name can be specified, first name, last name, whatever it is. Okay, here the last name, here the first name. Okay, Mr., Mrs., whatever it is can be specified. Now here you can specify the telephone number. Okay, extension, fax, email, everything can be specified here. Okay, and if you want to see the preview, here you can see the preview also. No extension entered. Enter an extension here, and you can click on preview. Right, are we going to see the preview? Yes, this is how it is going to appear. Okay, click on back button. Okay, so contact person details are going to be entered here, and press enter. Now here what is happening? So accounting information. Simply you have to enter this reconciliation account here. Reconciliation account. Which reconciliation account, guys? The GL account 2000 which we have created. If you are not able to remember, you can click here on this drop down. Okay, and select this account payable. See, actually, guys, there are multiple other information are also going to be entered, but not now, one by one, because you have to understand the exact use. If I'm going to give multiple details, and let's suppose I don't explain the logic behind those, inputs, like whatever we are giving here, then there is no use of learning this, right? So one by one, we are going to see a different topics and all, and then we'll come back to the vendor master. We are going to update the details. This is how you will come to know what is the exact use of those details and all. So right now, minimum details we are going to give here. Okay, so that we can set up a vendor master, and slowly the things are going to be added. So reconciliation account only you have to enter, press, that's it. And then here, payment terms, enter a basic and standard payment terms. Let's suppose 0001 I'm going to give. What is the use of payment terms? What is the logic behind creating this payment terms? That will be explained in detail in upcoming session, maybe in next session itself, or maybe next to next session. I'll explain the things in details. Okay. Uh, so right now, just give a standard payment terms which is already created by SAP. So use 0001. That is the better options. Apart from this, nothing. No need to give anything here. Okay, just what you have to do, simply you can press enter, or else you can click on save button right now itself. So you click on save button, control S, that's it, control S, save it. Look at here at bottom, one vendor was created, right? 100548. This is the vendor, 100548. This is the vendor which got created. Now the question is, where this vendor number, right, where it is coming from? So number range, right? How SAP is going to trigger this number range, guys? So as I told you, Now, when you create a vendor, right? So vendor is going to be created against a particular account group. We have given the account group TM22, and when you check this TM22, SAP is going to check this account group TM22. Against TM22, we have assigned a number range. What is the number range, guys? 02, right? And against 02, a particular number range, in the sense a range is given. And then again, we are having NR status for master data also, guys. Okay, NR status for this vendor master you'll be having. So based on the number in status, SAP is going to add 1, and here this number got generated 48. If you create another number, guys, there is no guarantee that you are going to get 48 itself. Sorry, 49 itself. It could be 50 also. It could be like, if you're going to set up tomorrow, it could be 60, 65, 70 also. Why? Because this 0 to number range can be used by multiple other people also. So if I have created one vendor today, and tomorrow again if you set up the vendor, as per the rule, you are going to, like, a feeling will be there that I created a vendor yesterday, that is, the number range was 48 here, vendor number was 48, in the sense 100548. So when I set up a new vendor, the next number must be 49. But since that 0 to number range is going to be used by multiple people, so tomorrow means in between this 24 hours, or in between, like, whatever this number of hours are there in between, multiple people have created the vendor. So maybe 10, 15 vendors are already created, right? So don't be confused here. And as I said, how the vendor number will be getting, or vendor number is getting generated at the time of creation of vendor master. So you have to say that it is going to be controlled by account group. Okay. So account group, what happened, guys? Account group control the fields of vendor master. It controls the number ranges as well. Right. Let's suppose here, now you just, no need to create additional vendor right now. You just press enter. And here I'm going to give test vendor TM22. Okay. Now this country field is a mandatory field by default. Okay, you make it. Enter. Press enter. These details. Okay. Now look at here, reconciliation account. This is mandatory. Of course, reconciliation you must have to enter. But now look at here, terms of payment. It is not a mandatory fields or payment terms. And if you press enter, system has allowed you to proceed further. But if you have to make this as a required entry, it means someone must have to enter the payment terms, right? So we have to make it. You can click here back button. You have to make it as a required entry. How can you make it as a required entry, guys? So first of all, what is the account group? Account group is TM22. Go to transaction code OB E3ID, right? Okay, vendor account group. You check TM22. Double click. Payment terms. So payment terms comes under general data, company code data, or purchasing data, guys. So of course it comes under company code data. In general data, we are having few tabs, like, that is, these are the tabs till contact person. But we have already crossed this, and we are in account management is already done. Under payment transactions, here you will be having payment terms, and you guys are going to be familiar with the screens also and fields also. Don't worry, it depends upon, like, how much practice you guys are going to do. Okay, so double click on payment transactions and terms of payment. You can make it as a required entry, and if you make it as a required entry and save it, come back here. once again xk01. You press enter. Now here, wait a second, system become a bit slow. Here is test vendor TM22. Okay, so here country code you must have to fill up. Press enter. And this reconciliation account you have to give and press enter. Now what is happening, guys? Look at here, payment terms. It become required entry. If you press enter, now system won't allow you to proceed further until unless you enter a payment terms here. Okay, in the previous, like just now we have seen, without entering payment terms also system was allowing us to proceed further. So here, whatever the fields are appearing in this vendor master, guys, those fields, where is the control? Those fields are getting controlled by account group. At the same time, when you create a vendor master, system is going to generate a vendor master number as well. So what about this number ranges? Those number ranges are also going to be controlled by account group itself, because number we have created where, I think it's KN1. Here we are going to set up the number, right? But this is the number range, right? We are having this one. Okay, somebody might have created, because this 02 is a very famous number range, guys. Maybe it's going to be used by 100 of people. So let's suppose, so here now, so this is the number range 02, and this number range /n obas, and this we have assigned against what? This we have assigned against, where it is, guys, BAS. Okay, so here we have assigned 02, right? And that too against our account group itself. So system is going to trigger the account group. From account group, SAP is going to check here which number range code 02. Against 02, what is the range we have given? That is going to be triggered. And then in that we are having like this NR status. So in that, which number got updated, based on that, a particular number is going to, vendor master number is going to be generated. So even in number generation also, guys, ultimately, which is the, like, which one is responsible? This account group is itself is responsible, right? So account group control the fields, and account group controls the number ranges also of vendor master, right? So we have created a vendor master. Now what we have to do, we have to post certain transactions. So whatever transactions are there, that will be posted in next session. Okay, so that's all in this session, guys.